From the News Talk STL studios in St. Louis, it's the Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. Tonight, Turning Point USA chapters popping up everywhere with Paige Schulte, political trivia savant Rich Rubino, and the Right Mind Studio Band, Mitch Murphy and the Murphy Tones. Now putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Showalter.
You know, I had so much I wanted to jump into this show with. I mean, we've been watching all the Academy Award films and things like that. Here's the thing. I'm just going to, I hate to put you on the spot,
okay,
right away, right at the beginning of the show, but I'm just going to do it because you are the show. I mean, the fact that you just got back from this cruise and trying to get home, what you are on dry land, dry dock, or whatever, you just trying to get home trumps any story or any topic that I wanted to talk about. I mean, from sleeping on the roofs of like hotels to like sleeping in, Buffalo Wild Wing booths and things. I'm just going to shut up is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let you take it from here and let everybody know what a living hell it was for you to try to get from the boat back to where you are right now.
I was just on a Virgin and, I was on a Virgin Voyages cruise, baby. And the great thing about that is there's no children allowed. So people walk around with T-shirts that say, F them kids, Virgin. And I don't think those are officially sanctioned shirts that they sell at the gift shop. Because them kids, I think that's meant to be taken the complete wrong way, but also be funny at the same time.
I guess it could, because I used to have one of those, but I had to get rid of it. But go ahead. This isn't about me.
They arrest you immediately. Once you get back on dry land in Miami, if you're wearing an F them kid shirt,
right.
Straight to the clink.
Okay.
You know, it was a great time to get away from all the news of this world. You know, you go on the boat and nothing can bother you, except right when you get to Lambert International Airport in St. Louis, Kristi Noem's face is on the big screen everywhere.
Really?
And she's trying to talk so hard, but her face is just so surgically tightened.
Right, those
that
lips.
She can barely talk. She's like Lorne Michaels, and she's trying to tell me about the things in my pockets need to be empty.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you want your face in the most miserable place on earth, the TSA checkpoint?
Right.
What kind of vanity is that where you think everyone needs to see me in their most miserable moment just so they know if they screw around, I will deport them?
Right.
That's what I was
thinking. Exactly. And that's what they were doing. And so, but go ahead. I mean, you're talking about I see what you're doing here. You're leading up to the good part, because I mean, when I check in on you because I care and everything. So I wanted to make sure that you weren't attacked or kidnapped by Somali pirates, and you actually made it back to shore. And I said, hey, is everything okay? Did you make it? And this is right during this big snowpocalypse that everybody made such a huge deal about, that happened to cancel a lot of flights. And so I checked in on you and Erica, of course, because that's what I do. And you said everything is great. We're sleeping on the roof of a hotel. Now, just take it from there, because I have never spoken to anybody or known anyone that has slept on the roof of a hotel. How did this happen?
So I started my part of the story day one with the very funny topic, and you want me to go straight to the tragedy. You don't want to know anything about the boat, the cruise, just the horrible things.
Can we go backwards? Can we go?
So let me start at the end.
So
Todd
Todd
is most excited.
Yes,
because that is really what grabs the attention.
Yes.
Now, none of this was horrible, because I knew I'd be able to come on the radio show here and talk about the cruise.
Right.
But it was a little inconvenient, because right when the ship got back to Miami, where we started a week earlier, it was like a whole different world. People were telling me that there was 12 inches of snow in St. Louis and all our flights were canceled. I was in Miami.
Right.
It was 80 degrees and sunny and beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
I had no idea what these people were talking about. I had actually gone to the movie theater in Miami, and I saw a trailer for the new Spielberg movie, Disclosure Day.
Oh,
and it's about these news reporters in Kansas City, Missouri, speaking like aliens about some snowpocalypse that's going to happen. Like the whole world is covered in snow and reindeers are walking around.
Wow.
That's what it felt like, seeing these Facebook posts about people at Aldi, and Aldi is closed. Aldi never closes.
They did. I was out of pretzels.
There were no pretzels. So I was just like trying to live my life. So I knew that St. Louis flights had been canceled. There was no way I was getting out of Miami.
Nope.
So what I do is I go into Priceline. They have coupons, and I like the mystery part of it, where you just book something and they tell you later what it is.
Right.
So I did that on Priceline right as soon as I get off the ship. and I have my hotel waiting for me in South Beach, Miami. So I just go swimming on the roof of another hotel, and then we take an Uber to the one that I booked, and that's when it all started. I go all the way to South Beach, Miami, and the person says, I don't know how you were able to book this room. There are no rooms available.
Really?
Priceline should not have let you do this. He was almost yelling at me that I was coordinating with the Mafia Priceline people for letting me book some room. But in my mind, it's, you have $700 of my dollars, sir.
Right.
You surely have a room for me. And he said, nope, you're going to have to call Priceline and get a refund. But
did you tell them? Did you tell them who you were?
I said, I'm Mr. Priceline. What are you talking about? No, I didn't tell him who I was. So he said that you could actually stay here in the lobby as long as you need and find another place to stay. So I'm running around South Beach, Miami, just running into hotels saying, you got a room? They say, nope. You got a room? Nope. If you go on the Priceline app, there is literally no one that is accepting reservations. You can't even go to the Ritz-Carlton willing to spend $1,000 to get a room because they're all gone.
Wow.
So since this gentleman at the South Beach Miami Hotel said I could stay in the lobby as long as I need, I took off my shoes.
Yeah.
I pulled cardigans out of my suitcase, and I slept on the couch in their lobby.
Oh, well, where did Erica sleep?
Right next to me. She put her little head on my lap. And then about 6 a.m., the next manager comes in.
Yeah.
They did some sort of shift change. And he says, what are you doing down here sleeping on the couch? We got beds. We have beds up on the roof next to the pool.
Beds on the like lounge beds, like loungers?
Like queen size loungers.
What? Like out in the open?
12-inch thick roofed loungers up on the roof.
On the roof?
They had big canvas tops so that the sun could be blocked out, and the mattresses were a foot thick. And they were queen size.
Now, is this something they always do? I mean, you can just go say, can you ask them, hey, I'd rather just sleep on the roof. Is this just something they have?
I think now I know that you can do that. So the 6 a.m. guy comes in. He says, just go up to the roof and sleep on the loungers up there.
Wow.
And then he had some maids bring us blankets.
Get out of here.
So it's 70 degrees in Miami. Beautiful. It's not even cloudy.
Yeah.
And we're just sleeping on these wonderful pool loungers that normally would cost you $200 to rent.
Wow. Okay.
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But we knew that we weren't getting home to St. Louis anytime soon. So we tell ourselves, let's just wait 2 days and let's try and go home on Tuesday.
Right, which you did.
And you think it'd be that easy, right?
Sure.
So we go to the Miami airport. They send us, for some reason, a Dallas-Fort Worth. They said, nope, you're not going to St. Louis, but we can send you kind of a parallel to the country. Nowhere close to St. Louis, but maybe a little more left. So we end up to Dallas-Fort Worth. Terrible decision.
Well, you know why? Because of the landman. I think
they
that's
got
the problem.
Maybe 3 inches of snow, and the entire state of Texas just shut down.
Well, that's part of it's the law there.
They have no idea what they're doing.
Actually, if it rains there, they have to shut down. But go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt.
So after sleeping on the roof of this hotel, for free though,
right,
we are shipped off to Texas, and then Texas says, you're not leaving here either.
Yeah.
And you better get comfortable because you're staying here all night.
Right.
So we tried to get an Uber or a Lyft to come pick us up to take us to Love Field because Southwest flights were leaving on time. We were at Dallas-Fort Worth. Nothing was leaving at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. They don't fly the friendly skies down at Dallas-Fort Worth. It's Southwest has got it on lock.
Did you tell them who you were?
No, I did not tell them who I were.
Go ahead with the story.
So we even tried. We bought tickets for Southwest. We got a hotel next to the Southwest Love Field. No Uber would even come pick us up.
Really? This is just horrible. Now, do you think it's because it is who you are?
I don't know. I do have a 4.6 rating on Lyft. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why it's not a perfect 5.
Okay. Yeah. So, no, but you told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you could have been in a state of hallucination? I mean, because you said, we're sleeping in the booth of a Buffalo Wild Wing in the airport.
Now, this is the only part of the story you want to hear about because you brought it up 4 times
and
before.
This is the best part. I like skipping to the back of the book, if you know what I mean.
Course.
Go ahead now. Tell my favorite part.
Of course. Now, so I look up this website, Sleeping in Airports.
Okay.
And if you look on Sleeping in Airports, you can pull up any place, and it tells you nice places to sleep, like Terminal A, B, C, D, E. Those are all terminals at Dallas-Fort Worth. And they say, in Terminal D at the Coach store, above the Coach store, there's a nice lounge. You can squeeze together a couch and an ottoman, and you can sleep there.
Right.
Every flat piece of land is taken in this entire airport. There is nowhere to sleep. There's thousands of people freezing their little nuts off because it's 50 degrees in this airport.
And not the Southwest nuts either, because they're not allowed to do that because of the peanut allergy. But go ahead.
Yeah, Southwest is a whole different airport that's an hour away from where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'm at Dallas-Fort Worth, freezing my little TTs off.
Right.
And then there's a big sign that says, Buffalo Wild Wings is closed. Come back at 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, what
a
perfect place to sleep. So I'm the very first one. I break through the stanchion. I zip, whoosh, it hits the little metal pole, and I walk on through. No one's in this Buffalo Wild Wings, but the lights are dim. The music isn't that loud.
Yeah.
And then the booths are right there. And I just lay down and
that was it. And
take a little nap. And then people who are below, who
Right.
can see up into the Buffalo Wild Wings, because this is on the second story,
Uh-huh.
they start trickling in too. They think that guy's got something.
You started a trend.
I started a trend. I sent you a picture.
You
There's
did
dozens
send a
of people
picture.
sleeping in this closed Buffalo
and
Wild
it's
Wings.
all because of you.
And a lot
Wow.
of people are too long for the booths, and their little feet stick out.
Yeah,
So they
right.
stole wheelchairs from crippled people,
Oh, yeah, that's a good trick.
dumped them, and then brought them up to the Buffalo Wild Wings so that they could position the wheelchair right outside the booth so their feet had a place to hang off of the booth and,
How
and
nice
rest.
is that?
I wish I had thought of that. I didn't push any crippled people over.
Well, I'm thinking because now that you've learned, are you going to write a book? Because I mean, this sounds like a travel guide. If there's ever been a travel guide that I want to read, and I don't have to now because I just heard the audio version. But I mean, have you thought about it? Because I mean, this sounds really. I mean, because maybe Buffalo Wild Wings would be a great place to sleep regardless. I mean, you don't even have to be in the airport. Have you thought about that?
There was a Subway, and they actually changed the sign that night. It said "Sleep Fresh" because they had booths too, and they wanted to
Wow.
charge you $100 a night just to sleep next to the
Okay.
bun warmer.
So anyway, so you finally make it home. I know that you did because you're here and I'm actually looking at you. So you made it home and you've gone from the tropics with no news and the warmth of Miami and all that to this living hellhole that we are in now, which is a frozen tundra. What was that like? Was it like when the astronauts come back from outer space where you have to get acclimated, or did you just go into shock right away?
Well, the first thing I felt was shame was because
Sure, you should.
my girlfriend was with me this entire time. And I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
am I a bad boyfriend, a bad provider that I can't get her into a bed with blankets and sheets and comfort? But eventually I just tricked her into thinking, what an adventure we're on, right?
Oh, sure.
Won't this be great for
the
Todd
trick.
to hear on the Right Mind show
And
if we
we
just
did-
rough it?
And you did. And now everybody's gotten to hear this story, which, I couldn't wait to hear. I mean, and we were following you along. I mean, seriously, it was such a joy. I mean, just knowing that you were having a good time while we were all freezing our butts off back here. But to hear this whole story, because you would have thought, my friend, that it was, I think I mentioned to you, you would have thought an asteroid was going to hit us, okay? When all the news and all the doom and gloom and, it's coming down as a big Alberta Clipper, it's coming out of the north, it's going to hit us any second. They made such an issue out of this thing. And you know what I thought? I mean, remember my horn? Wah, wah. I must have played that over and over again, just expecting it just to be nothing. Now, we did get a lot of inches, okay, of snow, that is. And other people got ice, but, it came, it's gone. We got to take a picture in it later on, but besides that, it was no big deal. But everybody was freaking out, and they know that you were out on a boat just enjoying yourself without a care in the world, and then they had to come home to all this. See, I think a lot of this hype is what got you in this situation.
I did tell the woman on Priceline when she was trying to hang up with me, she said, is there anything else I can do for you? I said, I don't even know what the options are. Why don't you throw a few out to me, and I'll let you know if you can do them for me. But if you don't have anything else to add, I'm just going to talk about this on the radio when I get back.
And it worked out perfectly,
And
didn't
they
it?
gave me a $100 refund.
They did?
On top of my $700 that I
So now you have a credit.
I got $100 because Priceline made me sleep on the roof. And they have legal gambling in Florida with the Seminole tribe. The Seminole tribe have Hard Rock Bets, and they have the $125 sign-up bonus. So both me and Erica did that, walked away with $125 on top of that as well.
And I think I can just jump to that topic because I had that on my list of things I forgot to put on my list. And the thing is that you walked away. When you actually left for this trip, you didn't just leave as, my buddy Joey, the radio star. You left as Joey, my new financial planner and advisor, because your whole new how do we put this? A lifestyle of becoming like would you
A whale, maybe? Someone who makes money off of gambling so he can go on a ship and swim in the water with his vacation winnings? I'm a whale now.
I was going to say that, but that's exactly what it is. Because you were telling me about all the other ways that you can scam the casinos and do things based on your new strategy of signing up for these apps, taking their money, and then just getting rid of it. And I got to tell you, it's worked for me, and I think it could work for a lot of other people that even have gambling habits.
First, we stole their land, and then I stole their sign-up bonus. Thank you, Native Americans.
So what did I mean? Was there any type of repercussion for that? I mean, did you have any like woke people come out saying that you're taking away from the Indians what should have been theirs?
This is the first time I'm saying it on the air, so come after me, I guess.
Yeah, because you don't care, because that's who you are.
It was fun because we've talked about this the last episode, but you just bet.
Did we?
You bet the over and the under on the same game, and then one of them will hit, so you get half the sign-up bonus.
Right.
So I just decided, what's the funniest thing I can bet on at 2 a.m. while I'm in this lobby stuck without a room? So I did bet on table tennis and video games.
Really?
Someone was playing
table tennis.
Someone was playing video game basketball at 2 a.m. and then someone was playing table tennis. I bet on both of those and walked away with an extra $67.
Well, how do you bet on that? Who's watching this? So, I mean, wait a minute. So you're actually betting on somebody.
It's in the app.
So just a couple of knuckleheads playing ping pong and you bet on it?
Yeah.
Well, how do you even know anything about it?
You just look at the numbers. The numbers tell you who's going to win. If it's in the negative, that means there's a good chance that he's going to win. This dude was at like negative 20,000.
So you got like,
and there was 10 seconds left in the game, so obviously he was going to win.
So you got like Hong Wong and like little Jimmy in Indiana.
Marty Supreme, yep.
Playing ping pong, and then you are betting. Are you sure you're not going down the rabbit hole of debauchery in the gambling world? Because this is how it starts. I mean, you started with college basketball, then you didn't touch football, and then I know you did some hockey, but now you fell into the depths and despair of betting on ping pong. I mean, I think this is, you may need help. I mean, you may, seriously, is there like a 911 number we can call? You're betting on ping pong now? What's next? I mean, I don't think there is anything lower than that.
Now we bet on the Oscars for Timothy Chalamet to win Best Actor.
Well, when we come back, we got a big show ahead. In the meantime, I am Todd Showalter along with my bestest buddy, Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, president of Mizzou's Turning Point USA chapter, Paige Schulte. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who is sick of these modern hotels not having doors on their showers, so the water floods the bathroom and then gets all his dirty clothes all drenched. Todd Showalter.
Hey, we're back. I'm Todd Showalter along my bestest buddy, Joey V. And on the line now from Columbia, Missouri, and the Turning Point USA chapter there, we got Paige Schulte. How are you, Paige? How are things on campus and with the organization and all the craziness in the world?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, the last time you were on, and we talked about all the stuff happening as far as almost like a new revival happening with the college campuses after the sad, tragic situation of Charlie Kirk. Turning Point USA broadened its, I don't know, I guess you would say reach to other college campuses, and they broadened it to Mizzou, which you are the head of. How is the chapter going, and are you getting any backlash?
It's doing good. We had our first meeting last night, so that was great. We had a good turnout. We just kind of discussed everything we have planned for this semester and things like that, so that went really great. And I think everyone's super excited for this semester. Obviously, we receive backlash all the time, so that will never end, no matter what. But it's going good, and we're going to continue to persevere. And yeah, we're just really excited. So,
well, you know, and what Joey, who's here with me, my partner, he just brought up that Lindenwood may be getting a chapter. And the thing is, I mean, there's like, oh my gosh, no, not a Turning Point USA. You would think it was like the plague or something. Why do people not understand that this is a good, wholesome organization, you know, pushing American values and, you know, Christianity, conservatism, I mean, everything that goes with that. I mean, why you would think that, where do you think all this backlash is coming from?
I think obviously we all know the media plays a big part in it. They continuously been this narrative that conservatives are evil and that we're the bad guys, and people actually believe it. So yeah, they make us look like the bad guys, and that reflects back on us turning point chapters whenever we're actually trying to put the good out there and the word of Christ. So we whenever we are out here trying to do good things, people automatically look at us they already perceive us in a negative light before they even hear what we have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So we're automatically shut down before we even get a chance to speak. So that's kind of how things are started out.
Yeah, and the thing is, again, I mean, I could see if you were like snake worshipers or doing some crazy thing, and burning things up and having protests and things. Oh wait, that's what the liberals are doing. I'm just saying, you get a lot of stuff. You're basically, it's a wholesome group. Presenting good, American values. And one thing, we've had other people on the show that have their theories on why a lot of this happens. We have one who's a friend of mine. He's a professor out in California. I mean, he talks about all the indoctrination that's happening as a result of all the money coming in from outside, countries, whether it be China and things like that, as far as, whether it's endowments or putting all this money into the universities with strings attached saying that you have to promote our ideals for, the students that are coming in. Do you see that? I mean, as somebody really, on the ground there, as a troop, one of the troops, I mean, do you see that actually happening, that there's almost like an indoctrination going on?
Oh, absolutely. I had a professor in one of my classes at Mizzou the other day tell me that he doesn't care if he gets fired or not for talking about his liberal ideologies in class. So that's actually something interesting. I've had actually multiple professors in classes just not even, they just don't honestly care about, sorry, people are walking by, but
oh sure, that's right.
I've had multiple liberal professors in classes just say the most insane things that just are completely biased and unfair to conservative students in classes, and they're just outrageous, and it is pure indoctrination. I was enrolled in a class, and one of the books and I immediately dropped out once I saw that one of our required readings was Why Socialism Works.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this. So.
Right.
And then I immediately dropped and I had to drop another class, and the professor said, I don't care if I get fired for speaking about my liberal ideologies. Like, okay, what am I supposed to do about that? I'm having to challenge one of my grades right now because a professor is grading me unfairly based upon me writing about some of my conservative beliefs. And it's just, myself and other conservative students are continuously treated unfairly by various liberal professors on Mizzou's campuses, and it's just a repetitive cycle that I know all conservative students face. So, there's definitely indoctrination on all college campuses, and it's ever continuing. So,
well, and it's wrong. I mean, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know because firsthand. I mean, as far as my son, I went to Mizzou for a while, way back in the 80s, and it wasn't anything like it is now. But when my youngest was looking to go to school, I mentioned this before, I took Mizzou off the table. I said, no, you're not going to Mizzou. I've seen what it's doing. And as far as tuition and things like that, it's not cheap anymore. It costs a lot of money.
No.
And so you've got either yourself or other students' parents. You're basically, at this point, paying to have your kid indoctrinated into some type of socialistic behavior. I mean, Mizzou I've seen a neighbor of mine's all proud of his daughter because she's part of the Socialist Democratic Party or something in Mizzou. I'm like, how can you be an American and proud to be a socialist when it goes against everything we stand for? And here you're like in the middle of this trying to get an education. How do you do it?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but that's why we need groups like Turning Point on campus, because we need there to be, like, I know there are conservative students, and we need a place where conservative students can feel like they can be heard. And I will tell you, there is more conservative students at Mizzou than you do realize.
Mm-hmm.
And there are definitely conservative professors at Mizzou. I've had a bunch of them come talk to me as well. So, yeah, it's a great thing. And we do see a lot of support. But yeah, it's been great in that aspect. So,
well, and
it
again,
continues to get better. So.
yeah, and you always hear. I mean, that reminds me when you say there's a lot of kids at Mizzou that are conservative, which is great. But you also hear about the as far as adults and everything. Oh, the silent majority. Wait till the silent majority wakes up. Or
Yeah.
does that. It's pretty long. They should have woken up a long time ago. What do you think is going to take? Again, I mean, sometimes you got to confront the bully head on. I mean, obviously you're welcome on this show anytime you want to come on, but I don't know if you're going to get the same opportunity on other shows just based on what their ideology is. So, I mean, what do you think it's going to take otherwise than just telling people to ignore the mainstream media, which they should anyway? How are you going to get the word out?
Yeah, well, it definitely is happening. Gen Z is definitely waking up. Like, I will tell you. There are a lot of students, like, especially we also don't know, like, after Charlie Kirk, there are students who like have started to like just like be done with it and just be like I don't care anymore. Like, I'm gonna speak up. So like it is happening, like, slowly but surely. There are students like who are not being silent anymore. I do see it happening. So and when one student decides to speak up, it gives another student the courage to do it. I mean, when I've spoken up in class, I've had students come up to me after class and say things like, thank you for speaking up. Like, I agree with what you said, and just things like that. So it does give, whenever you say something, you might not know, but it does give other students courage and things like that to do the same. So it is happening.
What do you think sets you apart? I mean, because again, I mean, how are you able to keep a level head on your shoulders and still be the person that you are? When I have relatives, and I've mentioned this many a time, that started out, normal kids that went into the Mizzou system that came out zombie communist. Now, I mean, what is it about you that was able to either avoid that, I mean, or just keep the values that you have? Because I think more students or more kids they need to be that like you. I mean, so what makes you different?
You have to stay true. You just have to kind of stay true to yourself and know your values. Know what's the difference between what's real and what's not true. Like, I think just research your own facts. Don't listen to the mainstream media. I think Turning Point is a good organization to talk to like-minded people about to just discuss things and kind of get an understanding of and like a feel for what's right to you. And I just think sticking to things like that is super helpful. And just honestly just know you know what's right. You can genuinely tell the difference between what is right and what's wrong, what's morally good and what is not morally good. And I think one thing that's important to me is, like, I'm a Christian, I'm Catholic, so, like, is this what's right? Like, is this what's morally right, and is this what's morally wrong? That's something I base a lot of what my opinions on, and that's like what I base. Is this true? Is this true in the words of Christ? And is this true, like, politically? Basically, that's like what I base a lot of my thoughts on.
Well, what year are you now? I mean, as far as
I'm in my second semester, my junior year.
Okay,
so.
All right. And so, I mean, do you mind me asking what you're studying? I mean, what you plan on doing afterward?
Yes.
I mean, go ahead.
So I'm studying political science pre-law. So I'm currently studying for the LSAT. So I will be applying to law school, and I'm taking the LSAT in April, and then I might take it again in June, and then I will apply to law school in the fall, hopefully.
I wish you the best of luck, and I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that we can, do it again soon.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for being on. We'll talk soon, Paige. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
What do you think of that, Joey? I tell you what, my friend, I mean, it's kind of crazy. You got kids out there, you got somebody out there that's just trying to do the good thing, and it's being quashed. I mean, when did the crazy people, if I'd known all the crazy people were going to be in charge, I mean, me being a crazy person myself, I mean, can you think of how successful I would have been if the timing was just right?
Look at any college campus out there. There are clubs for anyone.
Right.
Both sides of the aisle, it doesn't matter. So what would you prefer, Todd Showalter? Would you rather see a club of nice conservative kids getting together, sharing, their thoughts on family values, or would you rather see a bunch of anime kids who don't shower and carry their lady pillows, their life-size pillows with anime girls on them with their boobies out, behind them like Linus and the Peanuts cartoons through the mud, just having neck beards and being socially awkward?
Well, that's just, wait a minute. They have like pillows that are dressed like cartoon characters.
I said Linus. I meant Pigpen. Go on.
It doesn't matter. You just got me thinking of this visual here right now. So you've got these kids that have pillows that look like female cartoon characters, and I can only imagine what they're doing with these things. What are these all about? I don't know anything. Is this like these furries? Because they have people that
Same group of people.
Because furries, for those that don't know what a furry is, aren't on the inside like we know, they dress up like these theme park animals and have sexual relations, which I just don't understand. Because if you're dressed up as a giant furry theme park animal, how do you have sexual relations with another theme park animal? Do you know what I'm saying here? I mean, it can't be easy.
I guarantee you the Turning Point USA chapters at your college know how to shower and shave and use deodorant.
Right.
And right next to them are going to be the anime clubs. And those weirdos are going to be talking about ramen and running really fast with their hands behind their back and wearing stupid headbands that have little metal plaques on them. And they're going to be talking about how one day they want to learn Japanese, and then they're incels that never actually get laid, but all they think about is sex, and it's just a toxic environment.
Pitiful. I tell you, here's what I think happened. I don't know when the shift happened, but it certainly did. Do you remember, like in junior high school, everybody at the cafeteria, you had your different tables and stuff like that, but you always had that one table, or the goofy kind of weird kids that would sit there and they'd, you know who I'm talking about. When did that group of goofy weird kids at the junior high school cafeteria table take over the world? Because I don't remember. It'd be like in your high school or junior high school, these kids, I mean, if you offend the kid with boogers in his nose drinking out of his milk carton backwards and you say something about it, now you're the bad guy. That's kind of like what it is right now, but just on a world stage. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And how are they even sitting at lunch tables nowadays? Because they all have these butt plugs that have animal tails attached to them. And it seems like that would hurt to sit down.
It certainly would. Is it an innie or an outie? Well, actually, it's both, because I'm a furry and I was a loser at the dang lunch table in junior high. Wow. I think there's only one person that's going to set us straight on all that, and this is Rich Rubino. He's coming back. By the way, I don't want to just jump right to this, but his jokes lately, off the charts. I mean, he's writing his best material now. We're going to get into the politics first, but we're going to let him do a little bit of humor as well. How's that sound?
I love Rich Rubino.
Oh, everybody
Your
does.
dad loves Rich Rubino.
Everybody loves Rich Rubino. That should be a slogan. Well, we'll let everybody else love him too when we come back. In the meantime, I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy Joey V. This is The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter, political trivia savant Rich Rubino. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter on News Talk STL. And now a man who, when asked how he tricked his wife into marrying him, he immediately argues that legally you can't groom someone your own age. Todd Showalter.
And we're back. I'm Todd Showalter, along with my bestest buddy Joey V. And now on the line, one of my other bestest buddies, who I've known for a very long time, not since like grade school years, but pretty much the same. Rich Rubino. How are you, Rich? Gosh, it's always so great. Go ahead.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, I love having you on. Everybody loves having you on, not just because of, not just for your humor and the jokes and everything, but because of your wealth of political knowledge. Hey, I want to jump right into this, and I know that we always say, has there ever been a crazier time than this? And you always say, well, the late 60s and stuff. But I got to tell you, my friend, I think we're starting to win the whole battle of craziness. I mean, do you think we're actually beating the 60s as far as, just being diverse and polarized and nuts at this point?
I think we're getting pretty close. Absolutely. We may very possibly be beating the 60s, as a matter of fact. Absolutely. I've really never seen a time like this, certainly in my lifetime. I guess the Civil War would be something that was crazy, but this is a very, very crazy time.
Yeah, I agree. And you think, I mean, what again? Everybody jumps to the media as far as they're the ones that are fueling the fire on this thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, who can you actually place blame on? I mean, I don't know if who's getting the right shake on things or not. You don't know what to believe based on what you watch on the news or what you see in social media. I think that's the difference between now and other times is nobody really knows what the truth is. I mean, so how do you deal with something like that?
Yeah, it's very interesting because people are getting their media from different sources. They're getting from sources that they agree with, for example. I think that's a scenario that we're basically in right now. We're in a world where everybody's getting their news from places that they want to get their news from. So you can go on and you can get it from your own echo chamber, and then you're getting the stories that you want to get it. You're getting the spin that you want to hear from, or the way that you want to hear a certain story. So I don't know. Obviously, there's his side. It's like they say in a relationship. It's his side. There's her side, and there's the truth. And I think it's very similar. It's a very similar situation right now in terms of the way we our appetites, the way we get our news.
Well, yeah, not only that. I mean, you look back at the '60s and whatever you have. Well, certainly the Civil War and things. One thing they didn't have, and that's all this AI stuff now. And I got to tell you, I mean, this AI has been. However you want to look at it, has been a game changer because there are actually videos out now that are just fake. I mean, they're just fake videos.
Yep, absolutely.
And you look at, they had the one, I just saw a recent one. I'm just bringing this up because I just recently saw it, but about the individual that was unfortunately killed, and he was a nurse or whatever, and they were showing these pictures of him helping other patients or something, like on a balance type of thing, how to walk. When the flag had the wrong amount of stripes on it, and everything was, I'm not going to say they all had 10 fingers on one hand, but you could tell this thing was obviously manipulated. So nobody can even when you think you're watching something that you think is true, you don't know. And so how does, when you're looking at something or hearing something, and you think, well, okay, this has got to be it, and it's totally fake. How do we deal with that in this world now?
Yeah, it's fascinating, and AI has certainly put this into another dimension, and you really don't know. You don't know what you're hearing, whether it's the truth, unless you're actually there watching an event, which is obviously unrealistic. You kind of put it through your own partisan or ideological lens, if you will. But you're right, and I think certainly it's very easy for somebody to make up for somebody to make a fake video and then for it to go viral. And there are certainly plenty of things that go viral that go on social media, and everyone kind of has their own biases, and it's very easy to do that. So I don't know what the solution is to that, but it certainly is a problem.
Well, and from a political standpoint, we got the midterms coming up. I almost guarantee you're going to see videos of things that just aren't happening. I mean, people, creating things and as you said, everybody sees whatever they want to see. And you can
Absolutely.
see one side going against the other to say, look, we're going to put this out about my opponent that he's, naked with a dog or something like that when it never even happened. And the thing is, how from a political standpoint are we even going to know who to vote for now when we don't know what the truth is? I mean, it's just, and I know that none of us have the answers to it, but how do you think in this time period that we're living in, is there, and I'd say, hey, Rich, what do you think is the closest thing to this? But I don't think there is anything that compares to this. Do you?
No, and I think that certainly AI has a lot to do with it. I think the proliferation and the partisanship of the media has a lot to do with it. I think people are kind of in their own silos, if you will, following the media, following news from following the news that they basically agree with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I guess that's human nature. People want to go to places that they agree with, and I don't know what is kind of where you can go necessarily. I mean, what the kind of the solution is to that. I think it's human nature that people want to go to places that they agree with. But obviously, if you see a video like that, I think even people who don't agree with it, when they see a video, generally speaking, you tend to take things literally. You assume that what you're seeing in terms of video is the absolute truth. So mm-hmm. I don't know what the solution is to that.
No, I don't think anybody knows. Well, let's just say hypothetically that we do know what's going on. We got the midterms that are on the way. It seems that things have kind of kicked off, so to speak. I mean, there's certain things going on and whatnot. You have different people that are being more outspoken than others. Do you think we're actually into the midterm cycle? I mean, it was 1 year into Trump's new presidency, but I mean, usually it said after the second year. But do you think we're already into the midterm cycle?
Absolutely. I mean, we're really in a perpetual campaign cycle. As soon as one campaign's over, the next campaign begins. It never ends. It really never ends. And I think that if you're looking at, really, obviously we're in the midterm cycle, but also with presidential election, there's obviously a lot of coverage of that. And I think that as soon as one election is over, presidential candidates are they're campaigning for people in their own party around the country, and they're trying to garner as much media attention as they plausibly can. So we really are in the midterm cycle, and when the presidential cycle, it's a perpetual cycle, and campaigns really never end. It's not like there's a time and then as soon as it's over, then you have 2 years to govern. It's really the campaigns just really never end.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I meant to say, I mean, we're obviously in the midterm cycle because, it's coming up next year. But, I mean, even this early, usually after the second year, you're looking at the next presidential cycle. But it seems like there's even some type of momentum building on that. Do you think that's starting to play out? I mean, if you had your crystal ball, and we obviously have J.D. Vance that's going to be in the mix, do you see people like Gavin Newsom being in it? I mean, if you were to say right now you had to pick some people you possibly see in the next presidential election, you got any front runners?
Yeah, and I think that it's hard to see a scenario right now where Gavin Newsom does not run, and instead of being coy, which most potential presidential candidates are, he's basically saying that he's thinking about it. So I think he's going to run. I think Pete Buttigieg will probably run. I think Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, is sending signals that he would run. I think that Governor Shapiro is somebody who from Pennsylvania is going to run. I think that Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, is somebody who I can certainly see see running. So I think those are kind of the front runners right now. And there are probably some others. Ruben Galileo, the other senator from Arizona, is somebody who I think is considering it. Raphael Warnock, the senator from Georgia, is somebody who I think is going to consider it. I think that Governor J.B. Pritzker from Pennsylvania, from Illinois rather, is probably going to consider it. And, you look at the poll, and Vice President Harris, too, and I look at the polls right now. I think that right now the polls are more based on name recognition than they are on who's actually ahead. So I wouldn't necessarily go by that, because obviously it's going to be a lot different once an actual campaign begins, and then they see the advertising and somebody, usually there's somebody that you haven't heard of who usually does pretty well, kind of the Cinderella story. There's always that in the campaign too.
What I do know though is I do watch you on some of your other segments. I mean, you're on some major network stuff that you're doing now. And I just want to ask you, I mean, do you think from being on all these other shows, does it ever bother you that they don't let you do your jokes like we let you do on here?
Yes, I feel very hurt by it. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that they should really have a scenario where I just come on and I tell my jokes.
Yeah, because the thing is, I get into these things, and you're very, you're great. I mean, I'm seriously. I mean, nobody told me to tell you this. I mean, but you know it, and it's everything. You know how good you are, and that's why you're asked to be on all these major network shows. But I say, gosh, dang darn it, when are they going to let him cut loose and tell some of his jokes? And they never do. And when you come on our show, we know where your talents lie, and that's on the comedy stage, my friend. So will you please just do us the pleasure, maybe a few of your jokes for us?
Sure, absolutely. Well, it's funny, I often look at people and wonder who their idol is. Do you ever wonder that?
Now, I did read this one this morning. I don't want to give it away, but it's one of my favorites. Go ahead.
Yes, I guess I'm engaging in idle speculation.
See, my wife, she said that was one of her favorites, and I said, "Well,"
right.
And she said, "I go, he's not going to tell it today because it's already out there, but you did. That is one of. She's listening right now. That was one of her favorites. Give us. I don't know how much time you have. I mean, can you do a whole set? Or, I mean, do you have? Go ahead.
I got a couple here.
Okay.
Well, I heard of a pupil in school who took math class. Okay. Then he dropped it because he could not pass his first test. That was the aftermath.
Aftermath.
And I guess he took English class, but he took that after math.
Oh, Joe, you get that? After the math. Joey's not on. Now, you write all these, right?
Yeah, I do. Whenever I think of something, whatever comes into my membrane, I try to write it as much as I possibly can.
Man, and you do have a book of these coming out here pretty soon, right? Okay,
it should be out some point in the year.
Okay. Because again, and I'm not going to be redundant here because I know it's going to be on your merch table at the comedy shows. But I mean, we are trying to work on something to get you on stage, at least here in St. Louis, and I hope that leads to other venues. What do you say?
All right. I got one more, though.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop the set.
I know. This is really good. This one right here. I heard of a fellow who waited to purchase his favorite brand of ice skates when they went on sale.
Okay. Something with what? Blake, what do you think?
You're not supposed to pre-guess. Just let him tell
okay.
it.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. What is it?
Okay. He was a cheapskate.
Cheapskate. Oh, I tell you, these networks are missing out. They are missing out. And you know what? I will hog it all for ourselves. I tell you what, the fact that you share it with us, because I got to tell you, I love our political talks, and I kind of like, okay, we got to keep talking about this. But all I'm really thinking about in the back of my mind is when can we get to the jokes? And you know, and that's my favorite part of every one of these segments. And that's really like the highlight of why I like having you on. And I do love all the other stuff. I do, as everyone else does. But if other people knew, I think that, you know, they'd lead with the comedy and maybe like, okay, you got any political stuff later on type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I should definitely do comedy. I should definitely have that first and foremost, right?
Well, you know, I tell you what, if you need a promoter, I'm your guy. What do you say?
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for cheering us all up in this world of doom and gloom, because you are a breath of fresh air, and I want to thank you, my friend.
Thanks. I greatly enjoyed coming on.
All right, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There he goes, the comedy stylings of Rich Rubino, and he also does some political stuff. I think he's being overlooked. Now, I see him on this stuff. Like, if you watch his other things, he's like, I'm on Newsmax, I'm on Fox.
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I do, because I say, he's the one, thanks to us, you know, he got his start and everything. And so I like to see, you know people from, kind of like Heather Overstreet. Did you know that Donald Trump broadcast one of her videos or something like that? Now, she started right here on this show too, as did Rich Rubino, and so I like following the people that we help get their start. But all these major networks, la-di-da, I mean, they never ever say, hey, Rich, why don't you give us a few of your jokes? No, we are the only platform that he has for that.
It'd be nice if he went on to Gutfeld on Fox News, that late night comedy show.
Yeah, right.
And he told the stinker jokes, or at least tested all of his jokes out to see which ones work. And then he brings the gold ones here. That's what I like, is that he only brings his best material here. He uses the stuff that no one cares about on Fox and Newsmax.
Right. Well, I think it's because he feels like, you know, it's kind of like a parental type of thing. You never want to let your mom or dad down. I think he never want to let us down, okay? Because he knows that, you know, we're the one that kind of raised him to where he is today. And but I want him to feel comfortable too. Okay, are you getting tired?
Yeah, he wrote so many books when he was a little baby because he actually needed them to reach the dinner table. He would sit on those books about political trivia,
yeah.
so he could eat his Cheerios.
And I think that's what he did, because those books are big too. I mean, you know, you remember booster chairs? Did you ever sit in a booster chair when you were a little kid?
Yeah, okay. I'm anti-vax, but I'm pro-booster.
They're good. Oh, I get it. Is that a Rich Rubino joke?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't even know how.
I have a brain of my own, babe.
Oh, yes, you do, and a good one. Well, you know what we always say, don't you?
Yeah.
If you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all. Till next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Showalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to toddsprod.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. right here on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL, and always streaming online at newstalkstl.com.